China's embassy in Australia has slammed comments by the Foreign Minister Marise Payne as deplorable after she accused Beijing of withholding information about espionage charges levelled against an Australian man. The ABC has confirmed Yang Hengjun will face trial next week, but it will be in a closed court. Here's political reporter Matthew Doran with more from our Parliament House Bureau.
Well, Dr. Yang has been behind bars for more than 2 years, and there's been very little detail about his situation that's been able to filter through to Australian officials and to the Australian media because of the secrecy surrounding this case and the strict controls that Chinese authorities have been putting on the situation there. But he is accused of espionage charges in Beijing, something that he has been strongly denying, claiming that he is a victim of political persecution. And while we haven't had a whole lot of detail about the next steps in Dr. Yang's case, the ABC has now confirmed that the 56-year-old writer will face court on the 27th of May. That's this coming Thursday. Marise Payne, the Foreign Minister, is demanding that Australian diplomats be allowed access to that court hearing, saying that it is a basic norm of international transparency that diplomats should be allowed in to see how these proceedings are running. However, China in the past, with other foreign nationals who've been charged with espionage, have refused to do so, saying that there are matters of national security being discussed and therefore foreign officials should not be let in. But Marise Payne issued quite a strong statement late yesterday about Dr. Yang's case. She said that throughout his entire time behind bars, there have been repeated requests from Australian officials for information about his case, but Chinese authorities have not provided any explanation or evidence for the charges facing Dr. Yang. She goes on to say that since his detention, Dr. Yang has had no access to his family and limited and delayed access to his legal representation, with Australia repeatedly voicing its concerns about his treatment and the procedural fairness at play here. Now, if Dr. Yang is found guilty of these espionage charges, the sentencing spectrum is quite broad. He could face 3 years behind bars, or a life in jail. It is a very serious set of circumstances facing Dr. Yang, hence why Australian officials are voicing their concerns rather strongly, albeit through statements at this stage.
So, Matthew, how has China responded?
Well, quite predictably, they have fired back at Senator Payne today. A spokesperson for the Chinese embassy issuing a statement a couple of hours ago. The spokesperson says that China has repeatedly made clear its position on the case concerning the relevant Australian citizen, that being Dr. Yang there. It goes on to say that the Australian side should respect China's judicial sovereignty and refrain from interfering in any form in Chinese judicial authorities' lawful handling of the case. Decoding what that diplomatic speech means, effectively they're telling Australia to butt out and allow this case to run its course. The spokesperson saying that any suggestion that they've been keeping Australian officials in the dark from Senator Payne is deplorable.